Good to see you. Thank you for coming on the programme today. Julian Assange is going to appeal the court's decision. Do you think he has any chance of avoiding extradition to Sweden?
Well, Rory, I think this is going to be the big test for the Supreme Court. Have they got the backbone to stand up here for justice? Because if they haven't, we've got a real serious problem. I mean, this is just the latest in a saga, isn't it? And a kind of Scandinavian Viking saga of the barbarity in which Julian Assange is being treated is absolutely appalling. There's been an 18-month disruption campaign now against what is actually one of the most important websites in the world. What Wikileaks does is it was one of the most powerful tools to address corruption at the highest levels. And what we've seen over the last few years with these expeditions in other parts of the world, Afghanistan, Iraq, the latest one, Libya, is the importance of whistleblowers being able to actually expose criminal behaviour. As Assange has been the most powerful person in a way in the world exposing some of these crimes. Let me just give you one example, and I'm wearing my little badge for a nuclear-free sea today because one of the stories that Wikileaks had was 6 months before the Fukushima disaster was that the International Atomic Energy Authority were demanding that the plant be closed down. This is the importance of this kind of website. And let's not forget about the origins of the internet, because that was in DARPANET back in the 1980s. It was set up as a system for communicating in a time of nuclear attack so that no one centre could actually be taken out.
I apologise for interrupting. If I may just jump in for a moment, just give us a clear-cut answer here. Is this more about sex charges or is it more about his whistleblowing activities?
Well, it's certainly very similar, isn't it, to the Dominic Strauss-Kahn sex sting. It seems to me that there isn't any real basis for this. As we heard, there's not even been charges over in Sweden. And so, yes, it's a spurious attempt to shut down what is one of the most important media outlets in the world right now. And it's, like I say, a disruption campaign. But the old-fashioned, what I was saying about the internet, is actually what happens is, with now the internet as it is, the internet detects censorship as damage, and it roots around that censorship. And that's what Julian Assange is able to do with WikiLeaks. And they're stopping him now with this, what I think is quite clearly a disruption campaign for 18 months. This site has now been brought to its knees.
I do apologise to interrupting you there, but as you were saying moments ago, you know, it's possible he's going to be deported to Sweden, where, as you mentioned, he hasn't even been officially charged. But what will happen to him if indeed he is deported to Sweden?
Well, I think the object here is actually to just disrupt WikiLeaks, to stop it functioning, and they've been successful here. I think ultimately, I really hope that the Supreme Court, although I don't have a fantastic amount of faith in it, is going to do the right thing. It's going to deliver justice, which is to actually really, you know, give Assange a pat on the back. Maybe he should be awarded a medal because he's a fantastic and very, very important guy. He's exposing criminal activity at the highest levels in society, and I think he should be applauded for that. What we've got here, though, is a kind of Orwellian situation, and it seems that Orwell was right, that the people who are telling the truth are the ones that are being closed down. I find it absolutely appalling, Rory.
So you're suggesting that Julian Assange in some way or another should be awarded for bringing to light these revelations about government corruption and so-called secret scandals. But if I may, there are some that are saying that the UK is being used as a puppet on the part of the US. It's under pressure here. Is that accurate here? And is it even possible that judges are feeling direct behind closed doors pressure to make a certain verdict?
Well, I think it's quite clear that the judges so far in this case haven't really delivered justice. That's what we're seeking, isn't it? You know, people have a real appetite for WikiLeaks style material. Back here in Britain in the 1990s, we had a programme called The Cook Report, which was pulling 10 million listeners a night when that was on. That programme was pulled. It was an investigative documentary series, rather like the sort of stuff that Assange is coming out with. I think it's actually appalling. It seems that because the mainstream media can't do this kind of stuff now, doesn't produce this investigative work now, that Assange is absolutely crucial. So everybody in this country, here in Britain, needs to defend him.
UK-based investigative journalist there, Tony Gosling. Many thanks.